Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today we're going to be checking out a few additional things in the Division 2 with the latest update in Project Resolve. As it turns out, beyond the 35 pages of patch notes that were released, there are a few additional things and features that were added with this update that were not advertised. And I think for a lot of you, especially with some of these changes, they've been highly requested for a long time, so I wanted to put together this video and highlight some of those things. So we'll get right to it, and if you enjoy videos like these and you want to see more coverage on the Division 2, then be sure to click that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's go. Alright, so the first change to be aware of, as I know some of you are big into customization, is that they've actually added new character hair options. And again, this was something that was not advertised in the patch notes and that I've only seen people discover since the update went live. So you can either go here to the White House or at a spot at the castle that I will show you shortly. But if you go around to the barbershop right here, you do have to pay a small amount of credits if you do want to change this stuff. But when you scroll all the way down, they've added a bunch of new, very colorful options and a proper redhead option, which I don't think was available before. So for any of you who like to go in and change your character's looks, this is definitely something to be aware of, and you have full access to it now, I think anywhere across the game. And just in case you weren't aware, you can access this at the castle as well. This is where the descent vendor and all that stuff is, and if you head right down the pathway here on the left side underneath this walkway, you can access the secondary barbershop here. And lastly, if you're in New York at the Haven Settlement, you can go down to the basement here, and right over here on the wall is the third barbershop you can access in the game. The next point to cover is a bit of an in-between because they did announce these on the special report stream in the patch notes, but there is an interesting discrepancy with what we saw on the public test server for this update. What I'm talking about is the new commendations that they added with TU20 and Project Resolve. If you go in here, you can find a few number of them for the Paradise Lost incursion specifically. Down here, I believe there's one for a flawless clear. You have to do it without anyone going down or using any medkits, which is a pretty perilous thing to take on. There's another one in here, I believe, for, incursion. If you complete it 10 times, you'll get that one. I believe up here there's a specific challenge where you can do it by using skill kills, and you'll get another one there. So there are a few new challenges to take on if you're a big fan of playing through the incursion. Yeah, that one right there. What's interesting is that during the PTS for this update, and it's back on my stream VOD if you really want to go and check, there were additional commendations in there for the likes of the Countdown and Descent game modes, and those seem to not be active here, and they did not talk about them in the stream. So I don't know what the status of those are. I assume they're going to come then in coming updates, maybe even to 20.1 or 0.2. So the general point of this section of the video is just be aware that there are new commendations, and additionally keep an eye out for additional ones that they're likely going to add for additional pieces of content that previously have not had any in the updates to come. And then we saved the best for last. I know many of you have been waiting for this feature for a long time. Last season, we got the introduction of the new Legacy Manhunt menu and system, basically just a hub serving for players to get a text recap of the story and be able to replay the prime missions of all past seasons for the Division 2. But with this update, and again, this was not highlighted from anything I saw within the patch notes or the special report stream, you can now go back through this menu and system and collect all of the old lore collectibles and story entries for each of these past manhunts. Now, I can't visually demonstrate this to you myself because I played through all of these when they came out and I already have all of the collectibles that are already there, but I'll put up a post on screen of somebody I saw on Reddit who said, yeah, if you go and replay these missions, every time you go through and kill a boss, whether some of these just have one, some have two, it will drop you one of the associated lore collectibles with that season. So you will have to do a number of replays if you want to get all of them, but you do now have that option to go back and collect those, which previously was not available. So if I go in here to the comms, you'll see there's a section for each of the past manhunts right there: Broken Wings, Concealed Agenda, Fei Lao, all of those. You can now go in and collect each of these old lore entries from their respective manhunts. So whatever category here, just tie that to whichever mission it says within the Legacy Manhunt system, and you can go in and get all of those old common lore entries. And there you have it, everybody. I figured at least some of you would definitely appreciate knowing about some of those changes, so I figured it would be useful to put together this kind of top 3 missed things with Project Resolve guide. Very much hope you enjoyed and that you did find it helpful, and now if you are somebody who is looking forward to any of those things, go out there and do it. Let me know your thoughts on these specific changes, as well as if there's any other small things that have changed in the game with Project Resolve that you think people should know about. Definitely leave that all down below. But that is going to do it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Out.